My wife lost her job. We tightened our budget. One morning, a bag of groceries appeared on our porch, no note. We thought it was kindness. Until we found the same items, moldy, rotted, thrown into our yard with a note. Beggars don't get to choose. We checked the receipt in the bag. Paid with a card registered to our neighbor's construction company. When I asked why, he said, "It's performance art. You should be grateful someone sees you." But then my brother found his Yelp page and left a review with photos of the mold. His business was gone by the weekend. My wife, Melanie, lost her job in June. She worked admin at a local packaging plant here in Newburgh, Indiana, about 20 minutes outside Evansville. We'd lived here almost 20 years. Raised our kids here. Built a quiet life. When the layoff came, it hit like a punch. No warning. They told her on a Tuesday morning. They were eliminating her position. Whatever that means. After 2 decades of loyal work, she got an envelope with her last paycheck and a pat on the back. She came home in tears. I didn't know what to say. I work full-time at a pest control company, and I do what I can, but we depended on her income to stay above water. She was the one who made the budget work. Her job had our health insurance. Her job paid the mortgage. We didn't tell anyone. Not her family, not mine. We didn't want the pity. We just made cuts. We canceled cable. She sold her car and started driving me to work. We stopped eating out. We clipped coupons. The stress started building. We fought more. Mostly over little things, like what to buy, what not to buy. Some nights we just sat in silence. One night she cried herself to sleep next to me. I wanted to fix it, but I didn't know how. Then something weird happened. One Thursday morning, I opened our front door to grab the paper, and there was a brown paper grocery bag sitting on the porch. No name, no note, just sitting there. Inside were eggs, a loaf of white bread, apples, peanut butter, and milk. All brand new. Melanie thought it was her sister. I figured maybe someone from church had heard. Either way, we were grateful. We used every bit of it. The next Thursday, it happened again. A similar bag, different items, some canned soups, pasta, a frozen chicken. Still no note. It made us feel like maybe people cared. Like we weren't invisible. The third week, I started to feel weird about it. Something in the way the bag was placed, dead center on the mat, like a photo setup. But I didn't say anything. Then came the fourth week. Sunday morning, I walked outside in my slippers and saw it. Not a bag. A mess. Rotten food was thrown all across our front lawn. The same types of items we'd gotten before, but now ruined, covered in mold, cracked open, oozing into the grass. The eggs had burst. The bread was green. The apples were soft and black. A jug of milk was split open and leaking. And in the middle of all that was a piece of cardboard, duct taped to a broken soup can. Beggars don't get to choose. I just stood there, frozen. I didn't know what the hell I was looking at. My stomach turned. Melanie came out behind me and stopped in her tracks. She didn't scream or cry. She didn't say a word. She just turned around and went back inside. I stood in the yard for a long time, cleaning it all up in silence. I tried to think who could have done it. No one knew we were struggling. We didn't ask anyone for help. And then I remembered something. The second week's bag. I'd thrown it in the garage. The receipt might still be inside. I went digging. Found the bag still crumpled, with the receipt shoved down into one of the corners. And there it was. It wasn't a cash purchase. The groceries had been paid for with a credit card. The name on the card? J&L Custom Build Incorporated. My stomach dropped. That was our neighbor's company. Joel Satterfield. Lived right across the street. Mid-40s. Ran his own construction business. The kind of guy who power washed his driveway twice a week and always had time to tell you how successful he was. Every year, a new pickup. Chrome wheels, loud stereo, spotless interior. We barely talked, aside from nodding hellos when we both took out the trash. I stared at that receipt for a long time. The pieces started clicking into place. The weird way the bags were placed. The way the same items showed up. The rotted copy, like some sick joke. I marched across the street. I didn't even knock. He was outside cleaning his rims, wearing shorts and sunglasses like he was getting ready for a photo shoot. "You leave groceries on our porch?" I asked. He looked up, cool as ever. "You figured that out all by yourself?" he said, smiling. "Why?" He leaned back on his heels. "It's performance art," he said. I just stared at him. "What?" "You know," he went on. "Social commentary. Thought-provoking. Real-world interaction. Then he added, "You should be grateful someone sees you." It wasn't just a joke to him. It was theater. I wanted to punch him. I didn't. I walked away. I wasn't going to lose control. Not over that piece of garbage. Instead, I called my brother. Nate lives in Chicago. He works in digital strategy and marketing. Smart guy, knows how the internet works. I told him everything, about Melanie, the groceries, the mess, the receipt, the note, Joel's smug face. He didn't say much at first. Just asked me for the name of Joel's business. JNL Custom Build. I told him. 3 hours later, he sent me a link to Joel's Yelp page. Dozens of 5-star reviews. All glowing. Most with photos of perfect kitchen remodels and spotless deck repairs. Nate posted 1 review. 1 star. Attached were photos I'd taken of the moldy food, the rotten apples, the spilled milk, and the note. The caption? The owner of this business left groceries on our porch for weeks, then dumped the same items, rotten, into our yard with a note that read, "Beggars don't get to choose." When asked why, he said it was performance art. Think about that before hiring him. He posted it under his real name. Then he shared it to a local Facebook community with 18,000 members. Then 2 more. Then to the local BBB. By Friday afternoon, Joel's Yelp was getting swarmed. People started leaving their own 1-star reviews. Some referenced the photos. Some copied the whole story word for word. By Saturday night, Joel's business listing was marked as under review. By Sunday morning, the page was gone. The Facebook business profile disappeared too. So did the Google listing. On Monday, his truck was parked in the driveway, clean as always, but the JNL decals were gone. Scraped off like they were never there. He hasn't spoken to us since. Doesn't wave. Doesn't look over. He even installed a fence on the side of his yard that faces our house. And us? We're doing better now. Melanie found part-time work at a medical office. I picked up more weekend jobs. We're still climbing out of it, but we're climbing. And once in a while, someone leaves groceries on our porch again. But now, there's always a note. 2 weeks after Joel's business disappeared from the internet, Melanie got a message on Facebook. It was from a fake account. No photo, no friends, just 1 message. "Hope it was worth it. You'll be seeing more soon." She showed it to me that night. Her hands were shaking again. I tried to tell her it was probably nothing. Just someone trying to scare us. Maybe Joel, maybe one of his buddies. But I couldn't say it with confidence. That same night, around 2 a.m., we heard a car engine outside. I peeked out the front window and saw a black SUV idling across the street. Windows tinted. It didn't move for a full 10 minutes. Just sat there. Engine running. Then it slowly rolled down the street. The next morning, there was a dead rat on our front porch. It wasn't like it had just wandered up and died. Someone had placed it there. It was stiff, with a piece of string tied around its neck like a leash. No note this time. Just the rat, staring up at the door like it wanted back in. I cleaned it up before Melanie saw it. I didn't call the cops. I didn't think they'd do much. We had no proof. And if Joel was behind it, I knew how slippery he could be. The man knew how to keep his hands clean. But things kept happening. Twice, our trash cans were kicked over in the night. One morning, we found deep scratches on Melanie's car hood, like someone had taken a screwdriver and dragged it in circles. Another time, someone left an envelope in our mailbox. Inside was a printout of Melanie's old job listing, with a sticky note that said, "Not good enough." It felt like we were being watched. Mocked. Bit by bit, they were trying to break us down. I started sleeping less. I got up at 3 a.m. to check the windows. I installed cameras, front, back, side yard. Cheap ones, but enough to catch someone if they got close again. That's when I saw him. A week later, the cameras picked up a figure walking past our house at 4:17 a.m. hoodie up, hands in pockets. He didn't stop. But I recognized the build. The gait. Joel. I saved the clip. Showed it to Nate. He said we needed to go public. He wanted to write another post. This time with the new threats, the rat, the scratches, everything. But Melanie wasn't ready. "I don't want to be in the middle of a war," she said, her voice quiet. I nodded, but deep down I was boiling. Joel thought he could scare us back into silence. He wanted to punish us for exposing what he did. But I was done being afraid. So I went to the city clerk's office. I filed a FOIA request for all recent complaints filed by or against Joel Satterfield or JNL Custom Build in the last 6 months. Took a few days to come back. What I found made my jaw drop. Someone had anonymously filed a claim against Joel's company 2 months before the grocery incident, accusing him of overcharging and abandoning a job site mid-project. It was still under investigation. Even more shocking, there was a court summons in his name for small claims court the week after his Yelp page went down. A woman in town was suing him for damages. I found her name, Megan Dietz. She lived 2 neighborhoods over. I knocked on her door the next day. Introduced myself. Told her I was looking into Joel. She stiffened right away. Said, "You too, huh?" Turns out Joel left her kitchen half demolished and ran off with a $9,000 deposit. When she pushed back, he started sending anonymous letters to her work. Called her a liar on Facebook using a burner account. Even slashed her tires once. "He's a man who hates being held accountable," she said. I told her what happened to us. Her eyes went wide. She offered to testify if we ever pressed charges. I thanked her, and as I left, I realized something. Joel wasn't just a narcissist. He was a pattern. He played nice until someone pulled back the curtain. And when they did, he tried to destroy them. I took the camera footage, the rat photo, the scratched car pictures, Melanie's Facebook message, and the story from Megan. Then I called Nate. "It's time," I said. He didn't even ask. Just said, "Send me everything." Within 48 hours, Nate launched a full site, SatterfieldTruth.com. It had timelines, photos, redacted police filings, screenshots, testimonies, anonymous contact forms for others to share their stories. We didn't post names, but we posted enough. Within days, submissions started pouring in. And that's when I found out what Joel really had to lose. The website blew up faster than we expected. By the end of the first week, SatterfieldTruth.com had over 12,000 views. It wasn't just locals either. Someone had shared it on Reddit. Then it made its way to a Facebook group for contractor fraud victims. Then someone tagged a local Evansville news reporter. And then we started getting emails. Not just anonymous messages, real names. Real people. Most of them lived within 30 miles of us. Some had even worked with Joel. One guy, Todd, said he used to do subcontract work for JNL Custom Build but quit after Joel stopped paying invoices on time. "I should have known better," Todd wrote. "He always bragged about how easy it was to ghost clients who complained. I figured he was just joking. Now I see it was a pattern." Another message came from a woman named Patrice. She said Joel did her back deck 3 years ago, left the supports loose, and when she called to have him fix it, he told her she was being too emotional and blocked her number. She said her husband slipped on the stairs a few weeks later and broke 2 ribs. They didn't sue because they couldn't afford it. We started collecting everything: photos, names, timestamps, conversations. Then someone sent us something different. A woman named Lauren had found Joel's personal social media account. It was private, but she knew someone on his friends list. She got access and took screenshots. There was a post, dated about a week before the first grocery bag appeared on our porch. It read, "There's a house on my street. Sad story, really? Watching people decay is like watching a roof rot. You don't stop it, you just document it. Let's see what comes of it." He added a black and white photo to the post. Blurry, but clearly our house. It felt like my stomach turned inside out. Melanie broke down crying when she saw it. That post was before any of the bags. Before we even suspected him. It was never kindness. It was never anonymous help. It was always a setup. He had been planning it like a game, and we were the entertainment. Nate updated the site. Put the screenshot at the top. With one sentence. "This is who he is," before he even started. People got angrier. And louder. Someone left a flyer with our website on every windshield at the Tri-State Home Expo. Another local business owner wrote a Facebook post saying Joel had tried to poach clients from him years ago by faking bad reviews. It was spreading. But then something happened that caught me off guard. A sheriff's deputy knocked on our door one morning. Said there had been a complaint filed against us for online harassment and defamation. Joel had gone to the county clerk and filed a report claiming we were leading a smear campaign. Said we were targeting him and interfering with his ability to earn a living. It was laughable, but also scary. The deputy was polite. Said no charges were being filed, but warned us to be cautious. Melanie didn't say a word until he left. Then she turned to me and whispered, "He's not stopping. He's going to ruin us if we don't end this." But I wasn't scared anymore. I was just done. And I still had one card left to play. Because what Joel didn't know. That woman Megan Dietz. The one suing him? She wasn't just another angry homeowner. She used to be a licensed contractor herself. And she kept everything: contracts, payments, photos of unfinished jobs, texts, and most importantly, an old copy of a contract Joel had forged her name on, back when they worked together for a short time. Forgery. That wasn't just a slap on the wrist. That was jail time. I met with Megan in person again, this time at a diner off the bypass. She brought a manila folder with her. Inside were the copies, 3 contracts, all with her name signed at the bottom. Only 2 were real. The third one was different. Same font. Same layout. But the signature? She never signed it. "This is from a job he took after we stopped working together," she said. "He used my name to pull permits. I found out when the city called me asking about a failed inspection. I never filed that permit. He did it under my license." I looked at the paper and knew it was over. Megan had tried reporting it 2 years ago, but nothing happened. She didn't have enough proof back then. But now, she had emails, texts, and even a voicemail from Joel saying, "Don't act like you didn't sign it, Meg. I cleaned it up for you." That voicemail would be his downfall. She gave me copies and told me I could use them. I called Nate, and we made one final update to the site. It had everything: the forged contract, Megan's statement, the voicemail audio clip. We even added a list of others who had reached out, blurred names for privacy, but their stories told loud and clear. Then we emailed a link to every news station in a 100-mile radius. It didn't take long. By Tuesday, the local Channel 14 ran a story. "Local contractor accused of forgery, harassment, and targeting neighbors." They used Joel's own words. Played the voicemail on air. Showed screenshots of his Facebook post about our house. Used a blurred photo of the rat we found. And in the background of one of their shots, you could see me, standing at the edge of my porch, arms crossed, watching the news van pack up. It felt surreal. That week, everything collapsed for Joel. Former clients started calling the county. 2 new lawsuits hit him in small claims court. The Better Business Bureau issued a public warning. His old subcontractors started speaking out. But the final blow came from the city. They opened an investigation into fraudulent permits tied to his company. And when they pulled his license record, more forged names showed up. 3 weeks later, Joel Satterfield was arrested. Charged with forgery, fraud, and obstruction. His mugshot was posted online. He looked different, smaller, tired, like someone who just realized the spotlight had turned on him for real. His bond got posted, but it didn't matter. His business was dead. His reputation was gone. His house went up for sale within 2 months. Rumor was, he moved to Missouri to stay with family. But here's the thing I didn't expect: it didn't fix everything. Melanie and I, we weren't okay yet. We'd gone through months of stress, fear, and humiliation. She still checked the locks twice every night. I still watched every car that drove by too slow. We talked one night, really talked. I told her I was sorry for pushing us into the fight so hard. I thought if we took him down, we'd feel powerful again. In control. But the truth is, revenge doesn't put food on the table. It doesn't make the fear go away. It just keeps the fire burning. Still, we both agreed on one thing. We'd do it again. Because men like Joel count on silence. They feed on shame. They don't stop until someone forces them to. We made sure he didn't get to walk away this time. And sometimes, on the good days, I think about the first time I saw that brown bag on our porch. How we thought it was kindness. Now I know it was bait. But he picked the wrong house. And we made sure he paid for it.